So let's talk a bit about The Scorpion King. It was a very ill-received prequel. Sorry. Again, it's it's a part of me now. It was a very ill-received spin-off of the Mummy series, particularly, Brendan Fraser. It was a fun time. I love the Mummy. And it is essentially like years and years and years a precursor to that film. It's directed by Chuck Russell, written by Stephen Sommer, who also did The Mummy. He did The Mummy, he did G.I. Joe, The Rise of Cobra, along with Jonathan Hales, who did Star Wars, Attack of the Clones, Episode 2, Attack of the Clones, and William Osborne, who did Twins and Stop or My Mom Will Shoot. Last one sounds like a hoot. I'd be interested in seeing what that's all about, because what? And of course, most notably, we have WWE wrestler, superstar, and just overall charismatic daddy, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, who at this time was making his film debut. He racked up a whopping $5.5 million. And at the time, that made him the Guinness Book of World Records largest salary for a first-time leading man, which is pretty freaking impressive. Side note, I was super excited when The Rock started doing actual acting because I was a big wrestling fan. Well, at this time, I think I was about to get into wrestling, but I knew who The Rock was, and I knew it was really hot. So the idea that he was going to be doing a movie where I could just see him oiled up and shirtless, more on that later, I was super excited about it. I was really into it. But anyway, despite the successful box office numbers, however, the movie was not perceived very well, and many critics called for The Rock to return to and stay in the ring. Though it did make quite a bit of money, it just wasn't well received critically. The budget was about $60 million production cost, which I find fascinating because, like, why? The movie, side note, the movie isn't particularly, it didn't seem to have a lot of things that weren't that big of a budget. It was a rather straightforward film, maybe a lot of extras, I don't know. But it did rack up almost $180 million in the box office, so it made quite a lot of money back, like 3 times the money back. So it is what it is. Sometimes box office trash makes money. Often it does. But with that said, critical ratings, particularly on Rotten Tomatoes, don't look great. 41% on the tomato meter based on 137 reviews, and 37% via audience, which I find interesting considering I think if anyone was going to give this movie a pass, it would be the audience. But only 37% with 250,000 plus ratings. Via some critics in regards to the movie, particularly around the time that the movie was uploaded, so 2002. The Scorpion King may look like a movie, but it feels like a food fight. Fair, I guess. It feels very much like Barbarian Light, which is to say it's nothing special at all. It's for moviegoers who like their pizzas with extra cheese. Contains not a single good line or memorable action sequence. Okay, fair, all right. But luckily for us, I am the judge here. Okay, and though I have absolutely no credentials, I do have a lot of opinions, hence why they have me hosting things. Spoiler, my opinion is I love trash. I love trash. Now, the box office success likely comes from the stardom that the movie capitalizes off of, i.e. The Rock, who was a very popular figure at the time. It was nominated for plenty of awards, all of which were like blimp awards, the Kids' Choice Awards in 2003, Teen Choice Awards type stuff. It also spawned video games. For instance, The Scorpion King: Rise of the Acadian for the Nintendo GameCube and PlayStation 2. The video game served as prequels to the movie, which is also a prequel to The Mummy. It's very confusing. And a sequel called The Scorpion King: Sword of Osiris. I don't know, words for the Game Boy Advance. The movie was also scheduled for a reboot for some reason as well, considering it wasn't very well received, or maybe that's why they're thinking to do it. But it was planned for that in 2020, but obviously COVID set that back. And The Rock was going to be producer this time for whoever the modern day Scorpion King would have been. I don't know if they fully decided to axe that, and they're just not going to do it anymore, but who's to say? I mean, I would watch it. I think it would be fun, but okay.